They are chasing us away.
They don't even
allow us to. They don't even allow us. We are just walking on the road. You see, they cannot give us house. They cannot provide a place we can stay. They are just following us. You see, they are just following us. They don't want us to stay one place. After we have spent 15 days in the hotel, after quarantine us for 15 days, they cannot allow us to stay one place. They didn't give us any hotel.
Hi guys, it's your girl lilymutamztv, also known as Wode, girl from Zambia. If you're new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe so that each time I upload videos, you will be notified that Wode has uploaded a video. So this video is a follow-on from the previous video where I talked about Nigerians being neglected or being left homeless in the streets of China. And I have a bit of an explanation to say as to why I say Nigeria. Obviously, because a video that I shared as part of my video came from Instablog Nigeria, and the person who was recording the video is somebody from Nigeria and was speaking Igbo language, as you could hear the person speak. So I didn't mean to offend any other Africans, to like discredit that, you know, they were not being discriminated against or being left in the streets. So before I go any further, I would like to read something from what you call the africannews.com. This news is about obviously the coronavirus and how the AU, African Union, is demanding that China, you know, takes action on the abuse of Africans. So I'll read something for you and I'm going to discuss after. The coronavirus pandemic has been confirmed in over 180 countries globally since it was first discovered in the city of China in Wuhan, late 2019 December. The World Health Organization, who has declared it a pandemic due to its spread. It has spread vastly, so the World Health Organization has declared that it is a pandemic. So this virus has spread across African countries, and there has been recorded cases where even African countries are rolling out measures to combat the spread of the virus. So this article shares about how this virus has spread, and I'll just read exactly what it says. So we will share the latest developments as authorities implement measures to contain the spread of the virus, especially on the African continent. So major statistics as of 11th of April, confirmed cases across Africa 12,966, number of deaths across Africa 695, recoveries 2,147, infected countries 52. The virus free from countries, only Lesotho and Comoros are free from the coronavirus. So what they're saying is the AU protests Chinese mistreatment of Africans, and you know, South African cases pass obviously 2,000, Chinese ejecting Africans in Guangzhou, China, and that has been going on as we have seen videos, and I'm going to comment on that, but I thought let me just read this important article. So Africa protests Chinese mistreatment, with Nigeria in the lead. And the reason why Nigerians obviously have been in the lead, because they have shown, you know, their remorse towards their fellow Nigerians, and they're the ones who somehow were the ones who've led the sending of the message, and Ghanaians as well as Kenyans and Ugandans as well, respectively. Those countries I must say, I commend you guys for sharing videos on YouTube, wherever. So yeah, so the report talks about how Africans have been mistreated, and a rise of this mistreatment has been drawn from a number of people on social media. So social media is a powerful tool which Africans from China have used to share the news of how they're being mistreated. So the Nigerian government summoned the Chinese ambassador to express their protest. Then after the meeting between the foreign minister and the ambassador, the speaker of the lower house of parliament also piled more pressure when he chided the ambassador in the separate meeting on Thursday. The Chinese foreign ministry, a spokesperson, insisted their relations between the country and Africa remained robust despite the latest round of friction. And then there's loads of tweets and statements that have been said, but I just want to go straight to this point, which I really wanted to focus on as well. So a Kenyan Gazette also talked about, how the health cabinet secretary Mutati Kagwe indicated the failure to wear masks whilst in public or private transport as a failure to maintaining social distancing. So many Africans are actually acting upon this, and then South Africa as well has acknowledged the challenges it has faced and have had to extend their lockdown to a further 2 weeks. So while Africa's 1.3 billion people had a head start in preparing for the pandemic, the virus spread in China, Europe, the United States. It has really risen so quickly, and the West is still to come. That's what is being said on this article. So close to 20 African countries have closed their borders. We know that. So you can't travel to different countries of Africa, and countries are hoping to end their lockdown soon, of which I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Even though businesses have been affected, I think health is more important. And then I just want to read this part because it's also talking about my country, Zambia. And joining the growing number of African nations, he encouraged all Zambians to wear face masks. So this is the president. They're actually talking about the president of Zambia. The president of Zambia said, "I am aware that some of you have been saying we would rather die from COVID-19 than from hunger." Zambia's President Edgar Lungu told the nation, "But I advise you to please choose to social distance." It's a long article, very long, and I like the fact that the Chinese have been summoned by the African Union as to why they are mistreating Africans in China. And I've watched a video. I've also checked out some pictures. This is an image of the Ugandan Foreign Affairs Minister in Uganda. He summoned the Chinese ambassador to Uganda. They had a meeting and they spoke about the mistreatment of Ugandans in China. So the Namibian president as well has also disclosed that it has held talks with the Chinese counterpart as part of the efforts to strengthen Africa's response to COVID-19. But the African Union Commission Chief Musuka Faki Mohammed and who boss talked about how they are joining forces together in order for them to have a good partnership for Africa. Kagame has added that as well as part of the article. The article is really long, so I'm just trying to read what I can. So the Chinese people have treated Africans really badly. On the streets of China, we've seen videos of Africans that have been left homeless, and there's even a new rule in China that any African that is in China, they are the ones bringing the infection, the virus to China. The Chinese believe that the virus is no longer in their country. It's now coming from foreign nationals, and Africans have been targeted and they've been discriminated against. So I've seen videos of Africans complaining. In this video as well, I'm going to add an article of you guys to just listen to how Africans all over China are just complaining with the mistreatment. So the Chinese people are now saying that the virus is coming from Africans, and it gets me thinking to the many years that we have given Chinese investors opportunities to live in our countries, and yet our fellow brothers and sisters from all parts of Africa who are based in China are left in the streets homeless because the Chinese are scared of Africans. They are the ones who are carrying the infection. They believe that the Africans are the ones who are bringing the infections into China from outside. The virus is no longer in China. So this is the rule in any country. When you travel right now to any country, or you're coming back to your country, wherever you live, you are supposed to be under quarantine for 14 days, after which we believe if you have any symptoms of the coronavirus, then you have to be tested and then treated if you need to be treated in case you find yourself with the symptoms of the coronavirus. But this is people who've been under quarantine for 14 days. And then when they're out of quarantine, some of them, they've had flats which they've rented from landlords in China. And then they are told, you have no house. There's a new rule now. Black people are not supposed to get a place to stay. A few African leaders have acted, and it's good to see African leaders trying to take action to help their fellow Africans. But the cry remains, why should Africans be discriminated in China because they feel it's Africans who are bringing the virus? So I'm happy that the AU has summoned the Chinese, and hopefully something better, a better decision will come out. These Chinese people, when they come to our countries, they are free to do whatever they like. They build businesses, they are investors in our countries, but we are being treated in the wrong way. I mean, I was very, very disappointed to see Africans in the streets, homeless. They have nowhere to live at all because the Chinese believe that these people are the ones carrying the virus. That's even against any human right. Nobody deserves to be in the streets just because you feel that they have the virus. And there's a video I was watching of a lady who was talking about how even accessing the medical facilities in China is near impossible, because if you are a foreigner, you are not entitled to the facilities and the treatments that you're supposed to receive if you fall sick with this virus. So tell me what you think in the comment section below. Have the Chinese gone overboard? Have they shown their real colors of who they really are? Do they like black people naturally, or do they just hate on us? Are they showing us that they don't like us completely, and this is why they're using the coronavirus as a weapon now to demonstrate their hatred for black people? This is also a call to our leaders that have given the Chinese the platform to build businesses, to invest in our countries, and they even deposit the money from those countries to their countries. In Zambia, I'll keep on saying this because it pains me a lot when I'm passing through that road where Bank of China is. We have Bank of China in Zambia, and the kwacha now is affected because of this Bank of China. Because what the Chinese people do is they sell goods, whatever they do in Zambia, they deposit the money in the Bank of China, and the money reflects in China. So do you expect the Zambian kwacha to do well? No. It's high time our leaders started thinking of how we can develop ourselves without relying on the Chinese. The poverty levels is what is even driving people out of Africa to go and look for opportunities in China, and now they are stranded. suppose these people who are in the streets fall even ill, because if they don't have the virus and then they are now in the streets, they are now, socializing with other people instead of doing the social distancing thing of staying at home, self-isolation. They are now trying to find a way of how they will survive as Africans living in the streets of China. It's not fair. So watch this video of how the Chinese continuously treat Africans in a negative way.
Huddled on cobbled streets with layers of clothing to generate heat under the cold skies of Wenzhou city, this is the new way of life for Africans living in China. The very color of their skin now means trouble, screaming of sickness to natives who bear a different skin tone from them. Africans have become subjects of racial profiling. Chinese nationals blame them for the rising number of new coronavirus cases in the country.
They didn't want me to enter the subway. I had even bought my ticket, that was 4 yuan. And by the time I was going to the subway, they stopped me and then they told me that no foreigner is allowed. And I was like, why? This is a subway. Then they say that is the rule. Then who am I to argue with the law?
They cannot allow us to stay one place. They didn't give us any hotel.
Oh, give me all the Nigerian passport.
Individual day here.
How many? I have 3 here.
Yes, 3.
It is heartbreaking to see Africans being left in the streets of China. These are the same Chinese people that come to Africa and we welcome them with 2 arms. Look at what the Chinese are doing. They are making black people stranded without even properly screening them. They are in the streets of China. We don't even know if they even have coronavirus. Look at these letters and information that has been posted. Black people should be asked to leave the community. And yet the Chinese people are in our countries. Our African people are left stranded in the streets of China simply because of the Chinese being cruel to our fellow Africans. Therefore, each and every government should act better than that. With that, guys, thanks for watching my YouTube channel. It's a girl, lilymutamztv, also known as needbto. See you in my next video. I love you guys. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button and follow me on all social media platforms. It's simply at lilymutamztv.